That is going to be 11-11 Make-A-Wish versus Seawolves. So, Make-A-Wish here. This team played in Ludi a while ago, and they were known as Orbit before rebranding, right? And they did pretty well in Division 4 playoffs, for what that's worth. And they have some pretty recognizable players on their roster. Off top, Aang, who was previously on like Squids of the Filth, and also Radish, who's kind of a well-known junior player, artist, etc. Meanwhile, Seawolves seems to be kind of a pickup of sorts, with several notable players, such as Latios, Delta Jordan, Kanan, General Storm, Custom, and Callie, aka, I believe... Callie, who is like a brush player from Sanctuary, I want to say. So, kind of interesting, kind of the established team versus pickup dynamic that you often have. So, excited to see these teams play. We're going to Museum Zones.
Yeah, Museum Zones is, honestly, I feel like this is one of my favorite Zones maps. I'm not the biggest fan of Zones, but one of these Zones maps that I'm pretty fond of is Museum Zones, not just for like how you can like just roll out, how you have those options to roll out. You do have that flank also to really try and prevent anyone from being able to move back up onto your plat. It is kind of difficult actually to push up from it, because being able to get from the spinner in mid over onto the other team's plat can be a bit of a choke point to get through. That you really need to have support from your specials, or support from like anyone who can really pressure those ledges to hold back the other team and move up onto that plat as well. But I think this is definitely a map mode that I do have fun on as well. What do you think of it, by the way?
Oh, for sure. This is maybe one of my favorite... Well, okay. The game has been out for a while now, but I don't feel like I've really done a lot of thinking as to what is like, oh, well, this is like my total favorite map. Honestly, I could just go with the boring answer and say Mako Mart, but yeah, I do enjoy Museum Zones. Now, I feel like it can be kind of lockout happy, but that could also just be me sucking, so I don't know. But even still, it's not really quite as bad as something like Brinewater or Barnacle, so to speak. It's like, you do have more than one way out of that lockout, because, flank routes, shocker, they're good to have. But yeah, as far as like weapon choices go, Delta Jordan plays Chargers, and Ong something is like a Splatling player. I think they prefer Nautilus, and Nautilus has been seeing a lot more usage as of late. Speak of the devil, General Storm using it, and there you go again.
On both sides. Actually, I'm curious about the double splash. This isn't something that we've seen for a while. But it looks like they're going to be holding on to it.
Also, the Dynamo and the Vanilla Tri-Slosher. Right after I was talking mess about Vanilla Tri and Zone. So go ahead, prove me wrong. In fact, both teams have Vanilla Tri. So what does that say?
Yeah,
anyway.
I gotta say that the Make-A-Wish does manage to get that first cap, and they are going to be throwing that the tactical down to give them the buff they need to help them push up and at least try and contest someone who's dropped down onto the right side there, and also just like making sure they are a safe distance away from the other Inkjet as well, to avoid one of those dogfights from happening mid-air, which is always fun to watch actually. They are going to be pushing past the halfway point as well, with Latios and the Crab coming out to try and create an opening, especially doubled up by that rain as well. It looks like they are getting a little bit pushed back as well, but you know what, Make-A-Wish is still going to be capping that zone.
Yes, Seawolves just keep going down one by one. This is kind of a lockout here from the looks of it. They only really have one person kind of pushing up, and with that two, with Kabi and Aang pushing up with K on the Dynamo. For the record, V Dynamo, love to see it. But Seawolves is making a real push for zone there, but they went two down just at the worst possible time. I really thought they were about to neutralize it, but
yeah, we did see on Seawolves someone making one of those flanks as well, but if they just had that support to make that work for them, they could have taken that zone back, or at least neutralized it or something.
Yeah, but that will be Make-A-Wish pretty dominantly taking game 1 there. So, sorry about that. But yeah, I guess the...
Can I say?
Yeah.
I love seeing Dynamo win a game in like someone choosing Dynamo win a game in Squid Junction. Someone like not only just Dynamo but also the Vanilla Junior as well. I think that's just fun to see. It's fun to see weapons like this just come out and be played really strongly, really well. Just make it work with the team comp you have to just really make a statement as well. I just thought that was really cool. I have to say, because like it can be a little bit it can be like, I'm not always a fan necessarily of being able to only see the meta picks coming out, but seeing something a little bit weird and wacky like that come out as well, especially against like a double splash crab team as well, just like hats off to Make-A-Wish.
Very true. Like, I am still kind of thoroughly Splatoon 2 pilled after all this time, so it feels like, I don't know if I'd go so far as to call Make-A-Wish's comp like, oh, you know, that's a true, like, off-meta comp or something like that. But it just feels weird still to call V Junior off-meta. But yeah, the Dynamo, I'm not really sure if they were doing that much, but, I mean, it did what I assumed they wanted it to do. Stay back, provide paint output for your Slayers and company to do stuff, and provide cooler every once in a while. You'll love to see it. And I guess they just feel so confident about it that they're going to stick with the exact same comp yet again. Meanwhile, we're doing away with Splash entirely on the side of Seawolves.
Yeah, it does look like Make-A-Wish do manage to get their bubble on the tower and get control of the tower as well, with Ang over there just trying to clear out anything on the right side here, pushing them back as well. We're seeing those bombs come out, just making sure that they are not, that Seawolves is not where they want them to be. It looks like a couple plays have gone down. On both sides actually with that Junior out. It looks like Seawolves is going to have to be moving up and really contesting that tower here. Does look like they get a pick on the Dynamo as well, as they manage to use this as an opportunity for them to hopefully like get some more control over mid and get some points on the table for themselves.
Yeah, we see Make-A-Wish pop the Bubbler and the Inkjet kind of prematurely here, arguably. Seawolves getting kind of their first push off of the set here. Latios gets a nice pick on the Dynamo with the Inkzuka, and it seemed like they were about to get a triple there, but not quite. It's 2v2 right now. Jordan gets a nice pick on the Junior, kind of frontlining there for a moment. It seems that this player on Make-A-Wish is going to unfortunately go down to a flank. There's not many people pushed up in front of Seawolves right now, but they are probably going to take lead off of this here. The Inkjet's putting out a lot of pressure, and Make-A-Wish doesn't have that much to do about it. Like, they have the cooler, but, you know, you have to die in order to... Well, okay, not entirely true, but in order to make the most use of it, you have to die. And, unfortunately, that push is going to come to an end. So...
Yeah, and as you said, that 3 people on Seawolves did die fairly quickly to one another, but Make-A-Wish has a couple of their specials online, but they're really just gonna have to play patiently here, create the opening that they need, make sure that the Seawolves are pushed back far enough to allow them to move up as well. 2 players have gone down actually on Make-A-Wish, and 3 players actually if you count that Nautilus. But you know, 3 players once again. This is a bloodbath that we are seeing here. Seawolves still clearly in the lead. Another player going down there. This bloodbath just keeps on going.
Now, that looked like it was going to just end right away, but Candy, I believe, got a double with the Inkjet and was able to take down the person camping their jump, which that just kind of speaks to what Tri does as a main weapon, to be honest. But yeah, that push should have probably ended, but it's continuing anyway. Kabi using the big bubbler on the checkpoint. Very well played there. Not many people pushed up, but somebody on the side of Make-A-Wish is pushing up in front, and that's going to be Make-A-Wish taking the lead. And they don't have that much time until the KO.
Oh my goodness, they're just going for it with that GG's bubble at the end. It looks like that wipeout at the very end was just what they needed. Having that patient play throughout the middle of the game as well, making sure that the opportunity was absolutely right for them to push up as well. Fantastic work from Make-A-Wish. Seawolves being able to definitely play against Make-A-Wish's weaknesses, or try and at least pick them off for quite a lot of the middle of that game as well. That is going to be 2 games to Make-A-Wish here. But, you know, Seawolves, I believe, this is a play all 3, right?
No, I do not believe. I believe this is a best of. I don't know. I played in Squid Junction once, like 8 months ago.
Yeah, okay, it does look like the set is going to be going to Make-A-Wish, and as for us, we'll be going to a short break. So stay tuned for the next set.